You said in your conference that there are convergent interests and divergent policies between European Union and India. Which is for you, in your opinion, the main point of divergence and the main areas of convergence?
I would say that the convergence comes from a series of overlapping relations. First of all, it's that we do share common values in regard to democracy. And the Indian pattern of democracy is closer to the European than to the American. Secondly, we have historical relations with different European countries that were, of course, born partly out of colonialism, but after independence, we formed very strong relations with many different European countries. Now, one of the problems there is that these were bilateral relations that worked very well in certain areas for us and in such different kinds of areas. I was just mentioning to you Portugal's role in diffusing an ethnic tension in Goa. Now that's a very unusual role. Then we have trade. Trade with Britain, of course, was one of the highest, but Germany has caught up very quickly, and with various other EU countries. Then we had the whole Warsaw Pact set of relations prior to the end of the Cold War. Now the Cold War has ended and those relations have gone a different way. But we find that Latvia has become a great ally in the UN. So we have that whole range that if you add it all into one pot, it actually is very rich and a lot in common. Then we've talked a great deal about the fact that the EU as a sort of federal entity and India as a federal country have the same issues regarding diversity and pluralism and how to manage pluralism in the right way instead of in the wrong way. But we've not that, lesson sharing that we've talked about many times has not actually managed to translate itself into policy. And when it comes to policy, we have very different policies. The EU's policies in the South Asian neighborhood are very much European to ABCD country, not a shared, coordinated, integrated approach in which India is a partner. And of course, India too has this idea that why should Europe be so active in our neighborhood? So there's a divergence of interest there.
And how is, from an Indian point of view, Indian society or Indian public opinion, how is the European Union as an international actor perceived in India?
I would say that most Indians, well, as you know, most Indians don't even know much about India as an actor. And they would know nothing about, they don't perceive the European Union at all as an actor.
But they perceive France or UK or Germany?
Not necessarily, not necessarily anybody. The US to some extent, because of the US, of course, everyone does know that it's a huge power. But B, Obama's election had a huge, maybe for the first time, any country had a popular effect. The idea of a black man becoming the president of the United States, it gave hope to many people in India. Indigenous groups, tribals, outcasts, they all said. Exactly. And that's unusual, so that's a rarity rather than a commonality. But in the policy community, of course, the EU is looked at as an actor. And there, I think, the focus is more on trade. The policy community feel that the EU is not a strategic player in terms of security. We have a fairly narrow view of what strategy is. We tend to look at it more in terms of security.
Military security,
yes,
hard security.
Yes, not human or other, yeah.